Exactly.
Yeah.
But, you say that like it's a given, and it's not. I've been to several restaurants where when you're done eating, it's like, wow, the food was great, but the owner was a jerk. And there are a few restaurants, which I'm not going to get into, but I've literally boycotted restaurants just because the owner was a complete douche.
Oh, maybe that's because they're so inwardly focused on the food that they forget, kind of like a great surgeon.
True.
With no bedside manner.
True. I have unfortunately met one or two of those. But you get to the point where someone has to rein you in. If you're not a people person, stay in the kitchen.
Right.
There are plenty of places for you to contribute to your business. And if you are not a people person, stay away from the people.
You just have to realize that in time. Right.
Hopefully someone can rein you back in, tell you, hey, look, stay in the kitchen or you're going to go belly up.
Speaking of people who are jerks, we didn't touch on yet, I don't think, how does this food competition industry figure into the whole picture? These Chef Ramsay's and these, the competition shows and things like that.
Well, they are basically the reality shows of the food porn world. Personally, I don't like watching them because you're not going to make a quality meal in 30 seconds with 4 products that you randomly get out of a basket. You're not going to get the same caliber. Yes, it'll show your creativity, but it's not going to show the caliber of cook that you are. It's just going to show, I can fake it.
Right. That's why. Because my impression is it's not. It's not. That's why I mention it. To ask what you think about it, because it's not the same thing as what we've been talking about. It's like the emphasis is not squarely on the food.
Well, like anything else, if you have a Bear Grylls does the Survivor Man or whatever he does, and he goes into the middle of the whatever desert or whatever, and he has to survive X amount of days, and then you have the reality show Naked and Afraid. Okay, there's 2 people with a fire starter and a machete, with no clothes, 2 bags. Okay, let's send them off into the middle of the Sahara where it's lion infested, and hopefully they don't get eaten. All it is your people are pandering to the lowest common denominator at that point.
Right.
Extrapolate that into food. You're taking people as like, okay, they open the cabinet. I've got a can of tomatoes, 2 cans of string beans, and chicken broth. What can I make out of that? And that's what they're gearing it towards. See how creative these people are.
Right, and there's an element of abuse too.
Oh, of course.
So maybe what we said before about cutting across all the fetishes.
What is more entertaining than watching someone squirm and crash and burn when they can't do it?
Look at NASCAR. That's all NASCAR is.
Well, even getting into the wrestling, what's more fun than watching someone come off the top rope and just absolutely crush someone's spine?
Right.
But why don't we take a break? And like Tony, this is almost a segue. This is a song that I just can't get enough of. It's Strangers with Knives. The name of the song is Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Can't make this up. You're listening to MyNightOut Radio. We'll be back in a minute.
Till the end, they're Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. They've been plotting up a scheme to get me in. Now let me in, just let me in. Right till the end, they're Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Plotting up a scheme to get me in. Now let me in, just let me in. What do you say? Let's have a little more writing. Hey, got 4 best friends right till the end. Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Now it's time to close the bar. Grab the keys and see the car. 4 best friends right till the end. Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Get me in, just let me in, just let me in. Pilot schemes to get me in, now let me in, now let me in. Pilot schemes scheming to get me in, let me in, let me in. Private scheming to get me in, now let me in, just let me in. So, go in the glove, pull out the gun, pull down the face mask, make some love. Got 4 best friends right till the end. Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Right till the end. Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Private is scheming to get me in. Now let me in, now let me in. All my friends, we love to sin. Let us in, just let us in. All juiced up with big old grins. Now let us in, just let us in. All my friends, we love to sin. Let us in, let us in. All juiced up.
Welcome back, my night outers. That was Strangers with Knives, the name of the song, Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. And I'm wondering if they're talking about actual friends or the bottles of friendship. Well, if I ever get a chance to talk to them, or, hey guys, send me an email. Explain that song to me, please. Coming up, we got to talk about a few events that are coming up locally. As you know, and as I've been talking about for the last, about a month or so, month and a half, the Lord of the Wings, the Chicken Wing Challenge. Wow, it's hard to get that out when you just finished choking on some water, actually. Time is winding down on the the Lord of the Wings Challenge. No, I have not had a drink yet, but I just can't say Chicken Wing Challenge. There we go. Time is winding down. Don't forget to vote if you have not already voted for your favorites or pretty much any place that you've gone. Like I said, I unfortunately have not been able to do it because, well, I just dietarily do not need that. But another one coming up this February, they actually changed it. It was originally just the Grinder Challenge. It is now the Italian Grinder Throwdown. So far, they have Ocean State Sandwich Company in Providence, Sandwich Hut Incorporated, Pizza J, Hudson Street Deli, Tomaselli's at Rosario, Spirito's Restaurant, Willie's Local Foods, Sandwich Junction, and the Big Cheese Pub. And I know they're going to get a few more. They always put a last couple on the week before the challenge starts. Definitely want to get your tickets, get your passports for the Italian Grinder Throwdown. Go to Rhode Island Food Fights, and there's links in there for it. Jim Nellis, he's done a phenomenal job, and I honestly, I admire his ability to get such quality places. You know, he is definitely pandering to the foodie crowd when he does these things.
I'll tell you, Italian sandwiches of all kinds, those are a weakness of mine. So,
well, you're definitely going to want to do it because now the tickets are still only $20. Even if you're getting a small or even half a small sandwich, you got to try it because what's that? That's 12 right there. 12 different places for $20.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't get 2 sandwiches, maybe 3 sandwiches for that price.
That's 4 foot-long sandwiches at the crappiest of crappy sandwiches that you can get.
So, I mean, there you go. Also, not to mention, I know this is a little ways ahead, but, you know, I like being ahead of the game. The Providence Tattoo and Music Festival coming in March 19th, sponsored by Bonehead Wings, Suited Devils, Inc., in association with Black Sheep Entertainment. They are going to have a bunch of tattoo shops there doing tattoos while the show is going on. And it starts at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
You can get a tattoo of a chicken wing.
Exactly. You could even, can you do a portrait of this one wing? And I bet you there's someone there talented enough to actually get the dripping sauce off the bottom of that wing. But now I'm just going to go through a few of the bands because they got a bunch of bands, obviously. But they have Revocation, Gomorrah, Death Rattle, Carolina Burn, Joint Damage, Dead by Wednesday, Pistol Shot Gypsy, Sonaro, Bloodline Theory, Fear of the Masses, Proxies, Blind Revision, and that's just on the main stage. They have 2 stages for that. Again, Suited Devils, Inc. is going to be there. Irish Rose Tattoo, Quahog Tattoo, Richmond Street Tattoo, Heavy Mental Tattoo, which is formerly La Familia, and Blue Owl Tattoo. And, of course, our friend Sess Carney and Wick Carney will be performing live sideshow stunts, and they are going to be emceeing. So you definitely want to get your tickets early. They are literally running out of tickets 2 months ahead of this the show. So I can't wait for this one. And we're in the talks right now. I may be DJing in between the bands on the main stage like I did last year.
They're in negotiations.
No, I want 4 chicken wings.
I
Four
said
chicken
boneless.
wings an hour delivered. But Justin, if you're listening, I'm only joking. There's definitely a show you have to check out. Just the quality of the bands, and if you're looking for a tattoo, get in touch with the shops. They can definitely either make appointments for you during the show, after the show, or you can get it before.
All right, but best to get in touch with them ahead of time.
Yeah, there are a few that will be doing walk-ins. Day of the show, hey, I have to have that Tweety bird on my hip or whatever.
Right.
I'm sure they can squeeze you in, but
Right, but if you want any significant work done, then,
yeah, you definitely have to talk to them ahead of time. So, I mean, getting back to what we talked about earlier, though, food porn, I barely even scratched the surface. They have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on at least 3 to 4 different channels. And these are just the ones that stick out to me because these are the ones that I follow. Anthony Bourdain, however, is probably one of my favorites. He's got a whole bunch of shows that he does, but he's working right now with David Chang from Momofuku Noodle Bar in New York. It's called Mind of a Chef. If you're on Netflix, I power watched season 1, during the snowstorm. So definitely, you got to try it. You got to check it out. I think we're out of time.
Also on Netflix, the movie Chef. A lot of people slice it up, but I like that. I've actually watched it more than once.
Which one?
It's just a movie called Chef.
All right. I mean, that's another whole genre because there's been several movies where they've been food centric as well. But that's another show altogether. We are so out of time at this point. George, I can't thank you enough for coming down again.
Glad to be here.
Tony, it's always a pleasure.
I'll once again be walking on if you're starving.
I didn't actually talk about that much food.
Put supper on the table, honey.
Mine's already ready. Anyways, we're going to leave here with the McGunks. The devil was right. This was My Night Out Radio. Have a good night, everybody.